In this video, I will be making a simple talking script using HLFaceposer. Before we begin, let's plan what we want to do in this scene. We want to make a generic actor called Andrew, say a voice line. The generic actor's model will be male07. To begin, we need an actual sound file. Skip to the parts shown on screen if you already have a sound file, but for me, Audacity is my tool for recording voice lines. Simply record a voice line and make any edits you want, like pitch shifting, tempo shifting, or noise removal. Ensure the sound frequency is set to either 11 kHz, 22 kHz, or 44 kHz. The lower the number, the less bandwidth there is for high frequencies. For sounds which are prominently bass, lower frequencies can be good for saving storage space and also adding atmospheric compression to sounds. For sounds such as speech, require the full range of 44 kHz to sound, quote, realistic.
Oi mate, over here. Oi mate, over here. Oi mate, over here.
But if you want to save space or add atmospheric compression to your lines, it's your choice. When you're all done, make sure you export your audio in the WAV container in the Microsoft WAV PCM 16-bit format. Other formats may work, but a different bit depth of 8-bit or 32-bit may cause playback issues such as static or audio being played back slower or faster than intended. Additionally, other container formats such as MP3 or OGG could possibly work. However, I have not tested it myself, and considering it makes changes to the end of the file, it could have issues when decompressing the file. Personally, for projects, I would make a folder to organize assets. This allows you to keep your files organized and allows you to use version control programs like Git to back up your files to platforms like GitHub. Again, not necessary, but it's a nice thing to have. Now that you have a sound file to use, you want to place it in your sound folder in your game directory. For projects, I would recommend designating it a special folder. So for me, I'll make a folder in the sound folder called Armod 8. Then I have another folder in there for the project I'm working on. Again, you can do it any way you want. This is where the real meat and potatoes comes in, and originally I was going to do it scripted, but we're going to do it live because fuck it. Right, so here we are. This is the actual point of the video where we actually do some face posing. So this is completely unscripted, so apologies if there's random cuts, it's me just going to be rambling on. But the first thing we need to do is to go to our game folder, Gary's Mod. So we want to go to the bin folder, and we want to press H on our keyboard to find HLFaceposer, or just use anyway. Just find HLFaceposer.exe and open it up. Right, so this has already preloaded a model, but let's load a model first, shall we? Just in case. So you should have an interface similar to this, but you may notice the animations is here. That's because these windows are dictated by these tabs at the bottom. So you can right click on them and show or hide, and you can also lock them. So if you want to lock it permanently, that prevents it from being moved around. So let's load a model, shall we? So previously I said that I want to load male07 for this generic eyeless actor. So let's find the model, shall we? So the model I selected is in Models, Humans, Group 01, Male07. So let's go back to that. Let's go to Load Model. So remember, it's in Humans, Group 01, Male07. So Humans. So you can also do the H thing here as well. So Humans, Group 1, Male07. And this is the 3D view. So if it should already be open. If not, you can right click down here and click Show and then Lock. Put your mouse over it. You can hold down right click and drag down or up to zoom in. You can hold down Shift and left click to move around like this, and left click to rotate. So it's a bit like Blender, but instead of mouse 3, you use left mouse. So Shift, left mouse drags it, right mouse zooms in, and holding down left mouse without pressing any buttons rotates the model. So we can zoom out and we can see the model. There he is. We're gonna do simple speech. So first of all, we need to actually make a VCD file. So go to choreography and go to new. Should automatically open in your scenes folder. If not, you want to make sure you want to go to your game directory, go to Gmod or whatever your game is, go to scenes and put your VCD file here, and we're going to just name it something like Andrew Hello. So now it's prompting us to create an actor name. So remember, we wanted to affect a generic NPC, a generic actor called Andrew. So we want to name him Andrew. I just spilled. So we want to call him Andrew. So now that we have Andrew, I'm just going to save this. Oh. That's what happens when you spill cola on your keyboard. Go to choreography and click save. File is read only, just click yes, makes it writable. So now we need to give him a sound. We need to give him speech. So how do we do that? We use channels. So you want to right click on the actor in the timeline here, and you want to go to new and channel. You can name this channel anything. The names don't actually dictate anything. They're just used for organization. So I'm just going to put sound, voice. So we got his voice now. Now we need to add the sound file. So this can be quite difficult if you don't know what you're doing, but I will show you how to do it. So these are these are sounds which are registered in the engine, which I'll be honest, I don't know much about. They seem to be registered in a specific text file. Thing is though, we don't want to add our registered thing because we can't override it. So basically what we're going to do is that we're just going to manually point to the sound file. And to do that, we need to click on this sound text box here. And we want to put in star. So now you want to open up your folder, your sound folder, and you want to see the path. So Armored 8, okay. So Armored 8 project name. So Armored 8 project name / testaudio.wav. Testaudio.wav. So once you're done, click OK, and hopefully this will play. It sounds a bit weird when you drag it, but if we click play,
Oi mate, over here.
there we go. So I'm just going to save this before this program crashes. So you may notice at the moment when we play the audio file, he doesn't actually speak. So to do that, we want to go down to the bottom, we want to go to phoneme editor. We're going to click show on it. You see I've already got something on this, but what we want to do is that we want to click load, and we want to select our audio file. So you will see that there'll be a second audio file made called _work. This is for the program, don't use that, use the original file. Additionally, before we start, I actually forgot to tell you, you want to right click on the timeline and you want to click change speech API and you want to click on lip sync speech API. Don't want to use the Microsoft one. Microsoft one crashes. Use lip sync API, which if you don't have, you need to see part 1 of the video. So now we got the original file here.
Oi mate, over here.
And what we want to do is that we want to click re-extract and just type in what you're saying. So oi mate over here.
Oi mate, over here.
What we want to do is that we want to commit, right click and click commit extraction and click save. So by default it should be mostly good, but at the same time it might not work.
Oi mate, over here.
So now if we play the sound,
Oi mate, over here.
we got lip syncs. So obviously we can edit it, so we can listen to the pronunciation. So
Oi
So you can see it's not correct, so we can hold down control and click, and that will allow us to move the timeline. So holding down control and left clicking allows you to drag, shift and left clicking allows you to physically move it. Wouldn't recommend doing that too much. So sounds a bit creepy, but there we go. Additionally, we got emphasis, which I don't know too much about, but I believe this changes the how drastic the voice, the mouth movements are. So, oi mate, over here, like for example. So we're gonna add a little bit of peak here. You hold down control and then click left click, and then hold down control and then click left button on your mouse. That creates a point. Hold down left click to move it, so hopefully it'll be a little bit more exaggerated.
Oi mate, over here. Oi mate, over here.
So it looks alright for now. So click save, and you can either close this or you can lock it. Remember, you can always access it back down here. So now let's have a look, shall we?
Oi mate, over here. Oi mate, over here.
So now he's actually speaking. So you want to go to choreography, click save. Now we go back to Hammer. So I would always recommend restarting Hammer Editor when adding new stuff to the file system, because it won't be visible most of the time. But here's our actor. Here he is in all his glory. So you can see he's a generic actor called Andrew. So we want to make our choreograph scene entity. So let's do that, shall we? So we'll do scene, choreograph scene. We want to call it a thing. So we'll just call it Andrew's greeting. Then we want to select the scene file. Should be somewhere. You can see I've still got some of my ones from previous. There it is.
Oi, mate.
There it is. Select it, click apply, and here we go. So we got the thing. Now it's time to actually make a trigger entity. So let's do that. So this is just an unfinished map. I don't know why I made it. give it the trigger texture, and we'll make it a trigger once. So remember, Control T, trigger once, outputs, add, and we want to make it so that on start touch we trigger the scene and start. So we'll actually make it nearer him. Save, and we'll run the map. Right, so we're in the map now, and we got Andrew over here. Let's trigger him, shall we?
Oi mate, over here.
There we go. So there we go, simple speech. Hopefully this video was usable and not a complete and utter mess. Anyway, in the next video I'll be teaching you how to do stuff such as walking and targeted stuff, but till then I'll see ya.